Hello everyone, my name is Marissa Strauss and this is my video presentation for week 5. This week and part of last week really focused on attachment theory. The textbook as well as our outside reading served to develop and create a solid foundation to really understand attachment theory. And as we read about in the various readings, we found out that John Bowlby was largely the founder of attachment theory, and then Mary Ainsworth provided some significant contributions with her strain situation experiment, which provided some actual hard empirical evidence to support attachment theory. And both of these two theorists came up with this three or four, depending on who you're reading, types of attachment, and those are secure, ambivalent, avoidant, and then the fourth one, which is sometimes counted, sometimes not, it's the disorganized, disoriented. So the question that I chose to focus on this week was the second prompt, and the second prompt said, with regards to attachment types, what types of external factors would help shape these models as the individual grow throughout their lives? And is it possible to change your attachment style? If so, how? If not, why? So bottom line, I do think that attachment styles can change. And how do they change? I think that attachment styles change due to certain intrinsic personality traits. And they can also change due to external factors. And the different life experiences that people have will sometimes morph and influence their different attachment styles as people develop and live their life. So to delve more into why I think that attachment styles change, I've got a few research articles that I got into, and Kirkpatrick and Hazen in 1994 reported that over 4 years, 70% of their sample size found that attachment styles are stable. But then another study by Baldwin and Furr in 1995 found that of their sample size, approximately 30% of people would change their attachment styles over various lengths of time. So in general, there is like a 30% range where people can change their attachment types. So then why do they change, and when they change, where do they go to? So an interesting study was conducted by Davila, Berg, and Hammond, and they had two main hypotheses. First was they hypothesized that attachment style was due to individual differences of their own intrinsic personality. And then the second hypothesis was they thought that circumstances like highly stressful events, perhaps a move, death in the family, family illness, things that are stressful and are really going to affect your life, they thought that those were powerful enough to lead a change in attachment styles. So to answer their specific questions, they had a sample size of 155 women who had just graduated high school, and then they surveyed them 6 months after that and then 2 years after that. So they had a total of 3 time samples where they were assessing attachment types. And they did find that attachment styles would change, and when they did change, they moved to a more secure type of attachment style. So at the first one, 54% of participants were categorized with secure attachment. Then 6 months later, at the second time period, it changed from 54 to 59%, and 59% displayed these secure attachment types. And then at the third time, which is 2 years from the original one, it changed from 59 to 61. So 61% of participants had the secure attachment. And then they also found that of the 30% that were originally classified as avoidant, changed their attachment type to secure. And then 57% of those that were originally classified as ambivalent changed to secure. And so why did they do this? They had various assessments, but they concluded that attachment styles will change during important transitional periods of life. And right after high school, that's when a lot of people experience a lot of development and growth. And so they concluded that these stage-like times in early adulthood, coupled with highly stressful events like choosing schools, moving away from home, can serve to influence the attachment types and how people form close bonds. So to conclude, I do think that attachment that you get in the early childhood, that sort of creates like a default setting or a mold where you're predispositioned to different attachment styles, but as you develop and move through life, different influences can change how you form those close relationships. So I do think attachment styles change, and I think that learning why and how is very exciting and interesting. So that's my video presentation, and I hope it made sense. Have a good day.